Welcome to The Explainer. There's this invisible language that makes the entire internet work. It's the secret code that lets you get a weather update, order a pizza, or stream a movie, and you're using it constantly without even seeing it.
So, have you ever stopped to wonder, when you pull up a weather app on your phone, how does it get the absolute latest forecast from a server that could be thousands of miles away? Or when you're shopping online, how does the website load new products without making you refresh the whole page?
Well, the answer is, they need a shared language. They need a kind of digital universal translator that makes sure data sent from one system is perfectly understood by another, no matter what programming language they were built with.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to dig into why this universal translator is so crucial. Then, we'll crack open the code and see exactly what it's made of. After that, we'll follow a single piece of data on its journey across the web. And finally, we'll connect all the dots to see how this one simple language builds the entire digital world we use every single day.
So what is this universal translator, this simple language that connects the whole internet?
It's called JSON, which stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And really, you can just think of it as a simple, text-based way to organize information. Now, the brilliant part is that it was designed to be incredibly easy for us, for humans, to read while also being super lightweight and efficient for computers to understand.
Okay, so how does this language actually work? You might be surprised by just how simple and honestly intuitive it is.
The entire structure of JSON, the whole thing, boils down to one simple idea: key-value pairs. Just think of the key as a label, like name, and the value as the information itself, like John Smith. It's really just like putting labels on boxes so you know what's inside.
Let's take a perfect example, right? Ordering a pizza online. The data for your order could be structured in JSON. The crust would be a key, and its value might be original. Toppings would be another key, and its value could be a whole list, like cheese and pepperoni. It's just a way to describe something. And the cool thing is, these key value pairs can hold pretty much any kind of basic information. The value can be a number, simple text, which programmers call a string, a true or false switch, a list of items, or even another whole set of key value pairs nested right inside. It's a really flexible system built from very simple parts.
Okay, so now that we've got the language down, let's actually follow a piece of data on a typical journey. We'll see how your web browser uses JSON to ask a server for information and then get a response back.
This whole conversation happens in 4 key steps. We're going to follow the request right from the moment it's born in your browser, as it travels across the internet, gets processed by a server, and finally comes back with the info you wanted.
So first, your browser packages up your request into a data object. But you can't just send a complex object over the internet, right? It needs to be flattened. Using a command called JSON.stringify, it basically squashes that object into a single line of text. This whole process is called serialization, and it's a lot like disassembling furniture and packing it into a flat box for shipping.
Now that flat text string travels over the internet to the server. But wait, how does the server know what kind of data it's getting? Well, it comes with a header, a little label that says content type, application/JSON. This is like telling the postal service what kind of item is in the package. It tells the server, hey, I'm speaking JSON. So when the server gets this text, it does the exact opposite. It uses a command called JSON.parse to deserialize the message, which means it turns that flat string back into a perfectly structured object. This is like opening that flat pack box and reassembling the furniture exactly as it was before. And this is the really crucial part. Now that the server has the data as a nice, neat object, again, it can actually do something with it. It can use that information to look up your user profile in a database, calculate a shipping cost, or fetch the latest posts for your social media feed.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and see how this simple back-and-forth process is so much more than just a single request. It really is the hidden backbone of the entire web ecosystem. So how does everything connect? See, your computer doesn't just grab data directly from a server's database. Instead, it talks to an API, an application programming interface. Think of the API as a waiter in a restaurant. You tell the waiter what you want, and the waiter goes to the kitchen, the server, to get it for you. JSON is the language that you and the waiter use to communicate.
And because it's so simple and flexible, JSON is, well, it's everywhere. It's the standard for almost all modern web APIs. It's used to store data directly in modern NoSQL databases, like MongoDB. Even older databases like PostgreSQL support it now. It's even used for the configuration files for many of the apps and tools you use every day.
So why does all this matter to you? Because this is what makes the modern web feel so fast and interactive. Every time you see new comments, search suggestions, or updated sports scores appear on a page without the whole page having to refresh, that's JSON working its magic behind the scenes. It allows for small, targeted updates that create a seamless experience.
And that's really the key takeaway. As this quote puts it, JSON has become the standard because it's simply the ideal way to package up data to be sent between a client and a server. It's lightweight, it's easy for both people and machines to read, and it isn't tied to any single programming language, which makes it truly universal. It's amazing, really. From a simple tool, JSON has become the invisible workhorse of the modern internet. It is the language of the web today, which it really begs the question, what will be the language of tomorrow?